Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson, here to bring you guys another wonderful episode of the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know we are a celebrity based podcast show where we talk with entertainers, directors, actors, singers, musicians, you name it. They all come down here and they all have a great time. As always, I am super excited to be introducing my next guest. My next guest is showing that stunt work is no longer for the win. Women now can be doing the stunt work too, and I'm super excited for her to be speaking about her work. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to the wonderful Ashley Pynn. Hi, Ashley.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you? How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Your entrance with the hostess with the mostest, I feel like I should have some kind of slogan following that for my
Exactly.
I'll work on that.
That's the vibe I try to go for. That's the vibe I try to go for.
You're killing it.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, Ashley, I'm going to go ahead and fire the first question at you. I want to know, what began your passion for doing stunt work?
Well, as most people who work in the industry to some degree do, as a kid growing up, we all love TV, film, certain people look at it as escapism. Some people look at it as opportunities of things that they could possibly be capable of. Growing up, I always wanted to be the protagonist, especially the action related ones. And I was a pretty rough and tumble little girl. I had a bowl cut for at least 10 years. Not the best look I had, but it was a cheap one. But I was very drawn to movement and exercise. And I was a very high energy kid. And the way that I kind of filtered that form of ADD was into movement and to be able to focus it on something positive and to be able to get something that got that energy up, but at the same time I could progress with as well. And so learning about stunts and what that was, my aunt's been doing stunts actually for 24 years. And that's how I knew it was a career. I asked her, I was like, what are stunts? And she explained to me kind of what it was. And I was like, oh my God, I felt all the time. I would be so good at that. And I went to school for acting. I have a massive passion for that. It's a different muscle, but there's stage combat there, which I excelled. And I've been in New York since I was 17, and it took me a little bit to get my head on straight. I'd gone through some family things, leveled out. And then when I was in my early 20s, I was like, all right, you moved here for a reason. It's a tough city, one that I love. But if you're going to be here, you need to be going after something that you came here for. And so I finally pedaled to the metal, got myself in, luckily. Well, other people got me in, but yeah, that's how that passion started.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And you are doing incredible work. Incredible work.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Going on to the next question. Name 3 people who influenced your career and why.
Well, question for you. Did you want them to be celebrities or did you want them to be kind of more of a personal level?
They can be both, personal, celebrity, whatever, whoever influenced your career.
Okay. Well, I'll start with my aunt. Her name is Jody Pynn. She's been working in New York primarily for, as I said, 24 years. She is in our community a very well-regarded legend, as it were. She and I are very alike. She's my dad's younger sister, and we've always been very similar. We share the same middle name, actually, Michelle. And she's been nothing but a guiding light for me as far as support, advice, encouragement, etc. Second in line to that, I have to give it up to Court Hessler, who is the stunt coordinator for The Blacklist, amongst a massive repertoire of a resume as far as his career. He's a stunt god too, I guess. But he got me into SAG-AFTRA. He gave me a chance. He saw at the time, which was, I guess, going on 9 years ago, there's something called mail outs. And so you get your headshot, you get it printed, the big cardstock, you get your resume put on the back of it, and you try to find who the coordinators are of certain shows. Like I started off with TV shows in New York, it being such a prominent thing at the time. And I got a bunch of dresses, and then you could go hustle sets back then. So you'd find like the trailers on the street, and then you'd see what show is shooting based on the paper that's attached to some light pole somewhere. And then you look up the stunt coordinator. And then you kind of go talk to a PA if you find one that is nice enough or that you can kind of schmooze enough. If the coordinator's there that day, you'll be like, hey, I'm here to talk to Roy, or I'm here to talk to Jared. and you kind of just got to fake it. But I didn't have to do that blacklist, but my headshot came across his desk from me mailing it out, and he called my aunt and was like, "Hey, are you related to this girl?" And she said, "Yeah, Court." And he's like, "Well, what do you think?" And I had a big stigma for myself of I wanted to prove it that I could do it without kind of the help of her. I was a rebel without a cause, but he asked her, and she was like, "Court, you're gonna have to ask her." And he's like, "Well, will you at least bring her in?" And she was like, "All right, I'll bring her into the studio, and then she's all yours. But it's up to her to pull herself together. She's gonna do this." So she brought me in. I met Court. I met the producers, and the day of, I was Taft-Hartley, which basically is the fast track to getting your SAG-AFTRA card to be able to perform. And I worked that same day. So he gave me a chance, and he's a massive reason of why I have a career. Number 3 is Tina McKissick. She is also a stunt woman and amazing, fantastic human being. She was the best friend of my Aunt Jody, and she would come to Christmases with us, so I knew her very well from that growing up. But she's been an amazing supporter of me as a person. Her work is amazing. She actually started a company called, an organization rather, I think it's 501c, and it's called Stunt Women's United, and it encourages and supports women who are coming into stunts, already in stunts, or even those who have been in stunts 20 plus years, just as a support system, as a network, as women supporting other women in a career where it's, and I wouldn't even say unfortunately male based, but there's a lot of men out there, and there's a lot of men in charge too, which is, from my side of it, it hasn't been a bad thing, but I would like to see more ladies out there as well. And she's an icon for that. And so I look to her for guidance and support as well.
Oh, that is incredible. I love
Very
that.
lucky.
I love that, women supporting women, because that's always, how it should be. And,
Yes, ma'am.
getting it, yes. And you said, like, you hit the nail on the head, stunt work is very, male dominated. And not that that's we're not saying that's, here nor there, but there definitely needs to be more room for women to be able to do it, because, the ladies have been doing it and they've been killing it. So, they definitely deserve,
Also,
you know.
doing anything in a heels and a skirt with no pads is a lot more challenging as opposed to slacks and massive boots.
Please say it louder for the people in the back. I'm not sure if they heard that.
honestly.
I mean, you said it perfectly. The ladies are doing this in heels, so I'm gonna need y'all to give them their props.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like Fred Astaire's partner being able to do the dance move and do it backwards to support him as well. So.
Exactly. Going on to the next question. What are some challenges of being a stunt builder?
Challenges. Well, in the same realm, wardrobe. Wardrobe is a determinant of what you can do to protect yourself and what you cannot get away with. As I mentioned, skirts. You can't put knee pads on. You can't have shin guards or something like that. Heels, if you're running, that's begging for a rolled ankle. That's begging for a twist, fall, anything accidentally, not even maybe called for via the script. I don't think I need to go any farther about that. Other challenges, let's see. This one actually kind of stumped me a little bit because I think most people would assume the pain, and it's not really that, because I think a misconception of stunt people in general is that we're just thrill seekers. Sure, there are some out there that are freaking, looking for that high, but it's not a part of my repertoire of reasoning. It's more of a controlled chaos. I look at it very much like physics and learning. If I move this way and twist this way at this speed, I'll be able to manipulate my body to do this. And especially if the camera's looking this way, I can swing my arm at this angle in this direction of space that, done well by another performer, they will react in time, and it sells this entire thing. So it's controlled chaos. And of course there is pain that goes with it, but it's not necessarily, it's not something you're really afraid of. For me, of course, conquering certain fears is a really great part of it. But the pain isn't so much the thing. I'll give you an actual second one. I'm just trying to think of it. I think maybe knowing when to speak is a solid point, because you're doubling an act. I mean, for women, you're doubling an actress who this is their character. This is who they're embodying, and that's a very personal thing. And to look, to be made to look like somebody, or to naturally look like somebody, you don't want to be threatening at all. And there are
Right.
some people who feel as if that's kind of what you're after, and it's like, no, no, no. I'm here, like, honestly, to enhance this performance and to be here for you as a friend and as a confidant and as a safety. But
Yeah.
I'm not, you're never there to take a job, but knowing how to say that in conversation is a difficult thing without being over the top.
No, I get
So
you.
that's about, yeah, that's what I'd say. Yeah.
No, I get you. And those are some real difficult challenges, especially like you said, wardrobe, that can always be a challenge. It's especially with, women, because like as you said earlier, we got the wardrobe where, sometimes you're performing, with heels, sometimes 6-inch heels. And it's like,
Oh
it's,
yeah.
it's not the easiest thing to do.
The stilettos.
So that's real. That's absolutely real right there. All right, going on to the next question. You were a stunt double for Thomas and Mackenzie. What was that experience like for you?
It was great. She is awesome. She is very sweet. She's very down to earth. Every interaction that we had, she was inquisitive. She was. I really enjoyed having conversation. We didn't get too deep in life and all that, but she was a pleasure to be around. It happened that, of course, that we looked alike, but also, if you're referencing Thompson from Eileen, I doubled Anne Hathaway on that as well,
Oh,
on the same.
wow.
So yeah, didn't get much interaction with her, and they're so delved into the scene that's going on and the parts that I kind of jumped in. I think the majority, yeah, I think a lot of it was actually just the driving, it being kind of a period piece as well. So we didn't get to have too much interaction, unfortunately, but she was a pleasure for the small bits that we were together.
Oh, still though, any small
So
reaction
cool.
is better than any, any. So that's
Absolutely. Yeah.
awesome. That is
Especially with good
awesome.
people.
Yeah.
And I respect both of their works so much.
Oh my goodness, yes, yes. Anne Hathaway has come such a long way from the Princess Diaries. So it's yeah.
She's a boss. She is
Yeah.
awesome.
She has definitely made a career of her own and definitely taken it into her own hands and definitely refused to be boxed in. And that's what I think that's
Absolutely.
so powerful, because in Hollywood they like to box you in. Well, you were in Princess Diary, so we want to make sure that you stay in roles that are good girls or whatever. It's like, no,
Girl
as
next
an
door
act,
type.
yeah. It's like, as an actress, I need to be able to explore all roles, or I can't call myself an actress. So yeah.
Yeah. And a great example of a Devil Wears Prada. That whole
Yeah.
character arc within that, and how she was so expert at delivering, which also actually my aunt doubled her in that one.
Oh my goodness. It just keeps
It's a
going.
family,
It just I love it.
it's a family affair. Big thing
It
in
is
stunts is a
it's
lot
a
of
family
families, weirdly.
I say, I'm pretty sure, dinner conversations are fun at that table. All
Oh
right.
yeah. Oh
Uh,
yes.
Going on to the next question. Ashley, I want to make sure my audience follows you and your work. Where are you on social media?
I am primarily on Instagram. I'm in the midst of putting together a website, but that's more or less for networking, for getting jobs, et cetera, promoting. But Instagram is where I'm at primarily. I am 2023 New Year's resolution, begging myself to actually get better at it. But I do post, and I do share a lot of what other people post of me and my regular life and things. But primarily Instagram, it's at Ashley Pynn, first and last name, no spaces, no underscores.
Love it. Love it. I highly encourage my audience, of course. Make sure you follow Ashley Pynn on Instagram and check out more of her work, because we definitely want to see
Thanks,
more of
guys.
her work. Absolutely. All right, going on to the next question. What future projects are you involved with that you can give a dish about to the J Lounge audience?
Dish project. Let's see here. I'm currently working on something in Philadelphia right now. It is a mini series with a high end director. I can't mention his name, but I will say it is violent. That's not a lot of information, but
No, you're good.
I'm trying to think because when you, I'm very, very blessed to work as much as I do. But when, if you ask me what I did yesterday, it's like, oh gosh.
Okay, I'm the same way.
I'm on FBI often. I double Missy on that. Do a lot of cool stuff as well for her. I'm trying to find a good one. I'm so sorry.
You're
This is the part
good.
you'll have to there is a movie coming out, Ethan Cohen movie, or Cohen brothers rather, that I was able to work on, and it is about lesbians, and I happen to be one, so I was stoked to be a part of that. And this is my first job back from having a baby. I didn't personally have the baby; my wife did, but it was a really amazing experience, and it was some really cool, fun driving stuff at fun high speeds out in Pittsburgh, and it was called the Untitled Road Trip, but we'll see what it turns into. But that was a really fun experience working for the Coen brothers, and very interesting.
Yeah, I mean they're epitome of master class of directing. So
Dope stuff.
I to me, to this very day, of course, my favorite movie for them is No Country for Old Men. To me, that was top
Oh
tier.
yeah.
Oh gosh, that was top tier cinema to
Talk
me.
about an emotional roller coaster.
Oh my goodness. Look, it's an emotional roller coaster I will happily watch over and over again. That to me was top tier in acting, writing, everything. Everybody was just, I mean, Tommy Lee
Superb.
Jones. I mean, and it's just, it was just, oh my goodness. I can't, I'm obsessed with that movie. It's one of my
Tommy,
favorite movies of all time.
what is he up to nowadays?
I
I haven't seen him in a while.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who thinks about those questions. She was like, where's he been? I haven't
I'm
seen
like,
the
no,
movie
Men in Black. That's the only thing I remember for a while.
It's like where
And that was like 20 years ago.
like yeah, like Tommy Lee is like one of my favorite actors just because he's one of the few actors that can, express so much with just a look. He doesn't have to say anything. It's just
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's absolutely my favorite actor.
The
All
facial
right.
microcosms are beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Totally agrees. All right, Ashley, just got a couple more questions for you. What passions do you have outside of your stunt work?
Oh, so many. um, but probably one of the things that my wife is not the most pleased with me about is I am a serial hobbyist. I love to snowboard. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. She actually introduced me to it because she grew up on a mountain upstate New York. And I was terrible for a year, but I thought I'd be really good at it because I skateboarded my entire life. It's not the same. No matter what anyone says, it's not the same. Lies and propaganda. On my butt for a straight year. But it's now my absolute passion. It's been a terrible winter in the Northeast, but we'll move on from that. Outside of that, let's see. I'm right now I'm doing a cargo trailer conversion, which I know is the most hipster thing to do ever. Apparently, didn't know that until I started it. So I'm learning a lot about, I mean, all my hobbies are really nerdy and stuff. Like I'm learning about electricity and how to build things and engineer. I'm a musician as well. So one of my hobbies is playing with my wife's band, King Queen. They have been generous enough to allow me to be bassist. I play guitar, bass, and drums. So that is a constant situation that I'm tinkering around on per day. I'd like to think I can sing, but my wife can sing superbly, so it's really terrifying to do it in front of her. I'm not there with that yet.
Gotcha. No, I understand. No, I understand. Oh my goodness, I understand. But that's amazing. Those are amazing hobbies. Snowboarding and playing in bands. I mean, come on, that's incredible. So that's all really oh yeah, absolutely. All righty. All right, coming up to just the last two questions here. Going on to the next one. What's been the best work you put out so far?
Ooh. Well, the probably the bucket. I did my bucket list about half a week before my daughter was born. Down here, I happen to be in Philly, as I mentioned. that was the week of August 17th. It's going to be on The Servant, which I don't think the episodes air, but it's the series finale. I don't think it's actually aired, so I won't say exactly what it is, but you'll have to tune in on Apple TV, The Servant. But that has been the absolute most trusted I've felt with the stunt, and also the most danger I have ever been in. And it was a week of a wild ride. Um, and you can see the product if you happen to tune in or just Google series finale, because I'll say it has something to do with the opposite of water. Without
Oh,
giving too much.
okay.
Riddle.
Okay. Well, look, my interest is piqued. I definitely will have to tune in for more for sure.
Awesome.
Oh,
I hope you guys
I am
enjoy it.
definitely interested now. All
It was
right,
fun.
Ashley. Yeah, yeah. All right, Ashley, going on to the last question. What has been
Bring
some
it.
rewarding moments in your career?
Somewhat? Sorry.
Some most rewarding moments in your
Rewarding. Rewarding moments. Oh, one of the most rewarding moments of my career was I so Tina McKissick, who I had mentioned before, she runs Stunt Women's United, and there was a gala for stunt women. And we all went, and there was a voting going on for Breakout Stunt Woman of the Year. And I'd already kind of been in the business, I think, for about 4 years, 5 years at that point. And I was just so excited to be there. There's a red carpet that was provided by another stunt woman who's just awesome, Evelyn Becerra. My wife and I were able to go, and it was the first time really hanging out and seeing all these beautiful, amazing, talented women in a space together, and just knowing how much capability and pure determination lived in that room was such an amazing situation. Just seeing all these people I've respected and knew about for so long, just hanging out, being themselves. And I ended up happening to win the award that year. And I went up and did my speech, and I think everybody there thinks this happened on purpose, but gave my speech. It was a heartfelt one, blah, 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 blah. And I was leaving the stage, and there are steps going up the stage, and I slipped and busted my butt going down a few steps on the way down, and everyone thought it was totally on purpose, which my wife told me a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wait, they really? Because she was like, yeah, didn't you hear them all go crazy? I'm like, well, yeah, I just thought they were trying to be supportive because I just oopsied all over the place. And yeah, that was a pretty rewarding moment in many aspects. Just being around all those amazing women
Oh
for the
my
time,
God.
feeling recognized was neat.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. It's like, of course, it
Yeah.
happens as I'm accepting an award.
Yeah, and of course, as it goes. It was
You
a very
know,
Jennifer Lawrence, I guess.
it couldn't wait any other moment. It had to be this moment.
Oh yeah, and everyone thought it was on total purpose because I'm a stunt woman, and I was like, oh no, that was not
That,
hysterical. But
that,
yeah, if it makes you fine, sure, whatever you think.
that would happen. That would happen. That is a biggest fear of mine, like accepting an award and then tripping and falling. That is a real fear for people.
I
That is
wish I had the foresight to have known it would have been well received. Had I done that, I would have actually done it on purpose. But nope, the clumsy exists in a real way.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Yeah. Another one is I was a part of the um, which year was it? 2018 stunt ensemble for the Blacklist. I was a part of that, and I got a SAG award. Also, more recently, this past year, I was a part of the team at SNL for stunt coordination, but it was a variety award-winning Emmy show, so I was recognized for that, and that was really cool. Just even seeing Emmy written on a certificate and having something to do with it, and it being something that's given to me was just so cool. 5-year-old me was freaking out. Just to
I
be a part of
was
SNL to any
too.
degree is just so neat.
That is neat. I would be freaking out too. That is an accomplishment. That is
So
an
yeah,
accomplishment.
that's it.
But those are amazing moments, though. Those are amazing moments. I
Absolutely.
mean, the the tripping, though, that could have waited until after you got your award. But hey, that's it
Well, the
happened.
drinks happened after that, and then there would have been a whole different situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, little
Oh,
diamonds in the ring, all the good stuff.
oh, goodness gracious. Oh, Ashley, I have really appreciated and enjoyed our conversation this evening. You are such a joy, and I cannot wait to see more of your work and more what you accomplish. And it's just, yeah, I really appreciate you giving me your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Of course, of course. That's what we here at the J Lounge is all about. Of course, I want to highly encourage my audience one more time. Make sure you follow Ashley Pynn on Instagram. We want to see more of her work, just want to see more of her. So make sure you guys definitely do that and give a shout out. Say hi. And of
Yeah,
course,
say hi.
yes, please say hi. Please say hi. We need more highs.
I need
It's
friends.
okay.
I need more friends.
Exactly.
And I want to
That's
be your
like
actual friend.
that's what I want to say too. But I'm thinking, is that too desperate for Instagram? I'm not sure, but that's how I feel though. All right. I also want to thank everyone for listening in today. Of course, you guys know I've been your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson. I will be back with another great episode of the J Lounge here soon. Till then, thank you, Ashley. Thank you, everyone, for listening in, and I'll be back soon. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.